What's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with the opening night of this FCS Dynasty. That's right, week 1, year number 1 here, man, as we will check out the number 16 ranked Temple Owls going on the road in Holt Arena in Pocatello, Idaho, to take on this Idaho State Bengals football team. And speaking of which, here comes Idaho State's on the field right now, as this Idaho State crowd is trying to rally this team against Temple University, led by quarterback Joe Tupea, 6'6". He is a very tall human being, and of course that means there's no surprises here why Lee Corso is going to rock with Temple. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get this FCS season underway. Make sure you hit that like button, hit subscribe as well if you happen to be brand new to the channel, as Kimbrough, the kicker for Idaho State, is going to kick things off, and we are officially underway. Welcome to the very first game action of the FCS Dynasty, and we got a fumble on the ground, and Idaho State recovers. Joe McDonald ends up fumbling the football on the ground, and Idaho State will take over on the 26-yard line, and off to a good start as the Bengals already in a goal line situation with Ricky Washington, one of the corners for Temple, getting a little bit shaken up, and he actually dislocates his thumb, so he's going to be out for at least a quarter. As now 2nd and 9 from the 9-yard line, trying to throw it he's hit as he's thrown. And a missed opportunity by the Bengals, as Idaho State could have easily gotten the first points of this game, of the series. But instead, fumbling the bag, dude is hit as he's thrown, and Hayden takes advantage, gets the interception. As we'll pick up later into the first quarter, Temple taking over on the 43-yard line, as now Tupea dropping back the pass. He's looking over the middle, does manage to find his receiver Williams, and that will get Temple in Idaho State territory for the first time, as Joe McDaniel will go ahead and take the handoff right up the gut and finds a little bit of space, picks up a gain of 5. As now 2nd and 5 coming to Tupea, play action, looks over the middle once again, slicing through the middle of the field early. As we're looking at the total offensive stats, not much total offense so far, but you know, this game is still very early. A lot of things can go either way. As Tupea looks to the left, tries to get that out route over to Williams, but it is deflected away, and it will cause 2nd and 10 as Tupea throws quickly to the right. That almost gets intercepted as well. And now a 3rd and long from the 26-yard line. Tupea making an adjustment at the line of scrimmage, facing the blitz, throws towards the end zone and overthrows him. But at what cost? Brandon Todd ends up injuring his chest, and Temple is going to get their special teams unit out on the field. They're going to attempt this 43-yard field goal to get the first points on the board, and that kick is right down the middle. And Temple will take a 3-0 lead. And that's a future trivia question. Who scores first in this FCS Dynasty? The Temple Owls. And so a 3-0 lead for them, as Idaho State, they go free now. So Kimbrough, they got to punt this football away. And here's McDonald on the open touchdown. Temple, and a 57-yard kick return, as that was just not good punt return defense for Idaho State. And the first touchdown going to Temple, now making it 10-0, as the Bengals will go ahead and take over, trying to respond to the punt return that was just returned right in their face. As we got a 2nd and short now coming up, their impact player at running back, Nick Greer, is going to take a 2nd carry up the middle, finds a nice hole. Great job by the offensive line to open things up, as I'll get them to about the 38-yard line. As a couple plays later, 2nd and 11, trying to throw it out onto the perimeter, looking for that running back once again, Nick Greer, but it falls incomplete. And it makes it 3rd and 11 as this quarterback, Brown, drops back, looks over the middle, but it's intercepted again. The second turnover for Idaho State, and this one more costly than the last, as Temple starts off on Idaho State territory as quarterback just tried to make something happen that simply was not there. And so the Owls will take over at the 46-yard line and facing 3rd and long right away. Gets it out on the perimeter over to his receiver, but doesn't make it to that first down marker. And a surprising move here. Graham's going to punt this ball away. He's a solid punter, averaging 40 yards a punt so far. As we'll see his second punt. No, wait a minute. It's a fake. Is it going to be a first down? No. So Idaho State, they read the fake and they stayed disciplined. So now the Bengals take over with great field position. Starting on the 40. Brown throwing deep downfield. He's got a man and finds his receiver. Hill. Huge play by Brian Brown, finding his big-time receiver downfield. And the Bengals on the verge of the red zone here as they get one more play. Before the end of the first quarter, it's Nick Greer taking a run out to the outside. As I will wrap up the first quarter of play, Temple up 10-0. But this Idaho State football team on a drive, looking to finally get that goose egg off the board as Brown, facing some pressure, gets it out to the tight end. As even though Temple has been relentless with their pressure so far, already 4 hurries on Brian Brown, still haven't gotten the sack yet. We'll see if that changes here on his 1st and goal as Brown faces pressure right up the middle by Josh Washington. And his first tackle of the season ends up swallowing this quarterback. And that will bring him down a notch. Now at the 13. We'll see how the Bengals respond as Brown will try to throw again. This time over the middle. He gets to around that original line of scrimmage. But we see William Hayden, who did have that interception in the first quarter. He now has to leave the field briefly. You won't see him for the remainder of this drive. But can Idaho State get a first down? No. 0 for 3 on the day. This would be a great time to get your first third down conversion, as it does end up getting into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. And they pull within a field goal of the number 16 team in college football, as that is a nice job finding his receiver in the back of the end zone, as Temple has to go 3 and out. So maybe the upset alert gonna be on full swing here. You never know. You absolutely never know, as they got a nice kick return, but it's fumbled, and Temple recovers. 3 turnovers already by Idaho State. You cannot make this up. Thankfully, the defense does its job and is going to force a field goal attempt here so that it will remain a 1-possession game. But man, that was an extremely close call. You cannot turn the football over if you want to pull the upset. And so far, the Bengals not doing that. But it still remains a 1-possession game here, as we will see this Bengals offense go to work. Ironically, more first downs than Temple. I mean, it's really been special teams and defense really carrying the day here early on. Is now 2nd and 12, trying to look over to the left-hand side, but that is going to be deflected away. It will now be 3rd and 12. Brown dropping back. He's going to look over the middle. Has a huge man downfield, and that's going to be deflected away. 4th and 12. And the offense is going to leave the field. And the special teams, which has been a little bit of a struggle so far, is going to come out here as Kimbrough has not punted this football very well today. He gets a little bit better of a boot this time around, but in the hands of McDonald, who's a dangerous human being, is barbecue chicken, man. Look at him. He's strutting down the field, and it's going to be a touchdown for Temple. That would have been a penalty in modern NCAA, and that's the nice thing about 06, is that you can allow these kids to celebrate, and in most cases, you know, the refs will allow it, man. You know, the refs certainly have thicker skin now than they do today. If you know, you certainly know. But now the Bengals desperately need to get a score on the board here as they find themselves down by 13 with less than a minute and a half left to play here in this first half. So they desperately need an answer. We'll see if this offense can provide it. As Brown takes another sack, and this time it's Brandon McDonald who blows up that play. The second sack already for this Temple defense, and not a situation where they want to be in. 2nd and 16, where they can pin their ears back and get after this quarterback. And that's what happens when you make this quarterback feel pressure. It's been that kind of day today. 4 turnovers for Idaho State, as now the Owls have a chance to make this a 13-point game. And he was open. That man was open, but just, close at the last second. And now with 56 seconds left to play, Temple with a chance to go ahead and take not take the lead. They already have that, but, to really extend this lead before going into the halftime locker room. So we'll see if Joe Tapia can play a little bit better here, as he struggled, only 4 for 12 so far, but finding a big man downfield, and that's going to go for a huge gain. Just a beautiful ball thrown over the left-hand side. And now, with 2 timeouts left to play, we got a red zone opportunity. Tapia in the shotgun formation. He's got a tight end to the right. Tapia fakes the play action. He's going to look towards the back of the end zone and finds his man. Touchdown, Temple. And yet another score on the board as Idaho State, they are on the back end of a 17-0 run, as they are going to go into the halftime locker room down horrendous, down by 20 at half. So we jump into the second half of action here as Joe Tapia's offense is back on the field. And they scored a touchdown on the last drive. We'll see if they can do the same thing here, and it's looking real close. Taking advantage of pretty good field position. Not great, but definitely pretty good for sure. And just like that, already inside the 10-yard line. We'll see if they can punch it in. Already got 1 red zone touchdown. Looking for a second, as that was almost a 1. But the dude gets his horse collar pulled at the 1-yard line. They do not throw the penalty flag on that, and it'll eventually lead to 3rd down. Temple has struggled at this on the day. 0 for 5. But they run it with Joe McDonald, who has plenty of space on the left-hand side. No one on the perimeter, and it's a walk-in touchdown. I mean, look at this blocking. Just beautiful blocking by that offensive line. And now with 34-7 lead, as it looks like there's a new quarterback in the game. And that's the thing that's unique about NCAA football 06, right? If certain players are playing terrible, they will be pulled from the game. Now, granted, Ty Lewis, the backup quarterback for Idaho State, he's not doing very well. 1 for 7, 1 for 8 on the day. It hasn't been his day so far, but he's going to take a deep shot downfield, and look at this, caught off the deflection, and it turns out really well for him. He gets his time in the pocket, takes a deep shot downfield, trusts his receiver, and his receiver is going to be able to come down and make the catch. And here they are on the 36-yard line, as Lewis is going to throw it downfield once again, looking for Hill once more, but this time it's deflected away. 2nd and 10 now, going with the shotgun formation, faking to Nick Greer, as Ty Lewis tries to throw a deep one down the left-hand side, and it's caught! Touchdown, Idaho State! And how about this? You want to talk about a he got Moss moment? We certainly got ourselves one right there. And Idaho State does manage to get a 2nd touchdown on the board. So, got it back down to a 20-point game. We'll see if this defense can come up with a stop. But right now, not looking good, as Joe Tapia quickly responds with a touchdown of his own. This time, number 10 getting loose with it, as Joe Tapia had that clean pocket, finds number 10 downfield, and is back up to a 27-point differential. As now, 41-14 game in favor of the Owls. Lewis looking to his right. He's going to get it out to his running back, Nick Greer. And I'm surprised that they haven't gone to him as much in this game, considering he is their best offensive player. but part of that is because of the the game. What was it? You know what I'm talking about. The thing has completely lost me, but Tim Lewis, he ends up fumbling the football, and one of the Temple guys recover, and that's how this game has gone since, like halfway through the second half. This time, Washington gets in there. He's able to scoop up the ball, and no one's able to catch him, so he's going to celebrate a little bit. As that is going to wrap things up here. Temple does end up running away with it here in this week 1 game of the week. It ends up being a 58-14 victory. Idaho State, they knew we were coming in as underdogs, and listen, they got some things to work on, but I still think that Idaho State can have a big season. We'll see what Temple has in store for them. So needless to say, this was a slaughter for Temple, man, as they win 58-14. Idaho State, they did keep it close for a little while, but the talent difference was just too much for the Bengals to handle. Although Hill of Idaho State did end up playing pretty well. 7 catches, 151 yards, and a touchdown. But it was McDonald's day today. 212 all-purpose yards, 3 total touchdowns. He alone scored more than the entire Idaho State football team, as they will retain their ranking in the top 25. And that performance, as well as we check out the Sports Illustrated cover after we get through week number 1. And it looks like Temple's McDonald takes over the top spot in the Heisman Trophy race. Wow, you absolutely love to see it. Joe McDonald, 212 all-purpose yards. He now slides in as the number 1 player in the Heisman Trophy race. So that's who that first option belongs to. But with that being said, guys, next episode, we will continue this FCS Dynasty. We will move into week number 2, what will include 8 games in total, including 2 games that do feature custom coaches. Southeast Missouri State going on the road to play against Villanova, and then James Madison also going on the road in ACC conference play. They will be taking on Florida A&M, with the other 6 games to be determined at a later date. If you want to be a channel member and help determine which of those 6 games that you want them to, or 5 to 6 games, hit up that channel membership program, check that out. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this opening game for this FCS Dynasty. If you did, make sure you go ahead, smash that like button, hit subscribe as well if you do happen to be brand new. And with that being said, this is John J Gaming on the mic signing off. I'm hoping you're all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.